So lately, I've been working through the dry fly section of C. Boyd Pfeiffer's Simple Flies, and the one that caught my attention today is his simplified version of a Humpy. And it's simplified in a couple of ways. You use the same deer hair for the tail as the hump as you do for the wing. Now, we do have to clip the deer hair for the wing, so it's not as pretty as a regular Humpy, but do the fish care? I'm thinking they probably don't. And keeping the butt ends of this hollow deer hair for a wing might just make the thing float better. So what exactly does a Humpy imitate? Some folks will say it's kind of a generic mayfly, but I really just fish it as an attractor pattern. And as they're pretty good floaters, I will often fish this in fast, riffled, choppy water, or sometimes as the top fly in a dry dropper combo. Now, I didn't have any of these in my box this past weekend on the Savage, but I do have a few minutes of fishing footage of the kind of water that I would typically fish this fly in. So stick around after the tie to see that, because I did hook into a really nice wild brown. I did a terrible job of playing it. It was almost a comedy of errors. I couldn't see the fish for part of the fight, and I almost fell in. So you'll have to watch to the end to see if I actually got this fish to the net, or if it was just another one that ended up breaking my heart. But before that, let's tie this simplified Humpy. So there's one in the vise, a simplified Humpy. Not the most beautiful fly out there, but certainly easier to tie than the standard Humpy. And I'm tying this on a size 14. This is a 1 extra long. I tied a few of them on standard length hooks, but I think the 1 extra long made it just a little bit easier. And for the thread, you could certainly use black, but I'm gonna go with the color that I'm going to do for the body. In this case, it's going to be an orange. I'm kind of simulating October caddis colors. So go ahead and lay a base down to the bend of the hook. And the first thing we're going to catch in is a deer hair. And I'm using this coastal deer hair in bleached. Certainly doesn't need to be coastal, but I think the bleached color is going to look best on this. So take a fair sized clump, put it in your stacker. Let's see if this stacked okay. I think that did fine right there. Now we don't want a real long tail, certainly not that long. Let's go about half that. Loose wrap at first, then the next wrap can be just a little bit tighter. And what I'm trying to avoid is too much flare. So let's go one more wrap right here. And what I've been doing, I've been lifting all of this front one up and then putting a wrap right under it. This will kind of keep this all on top of the hook. Now we can go back with a tighter wrap. And you may not need to, but if you do, if you find the tail flaring all the way around, you can just lift all of this up, try to get all of it, and then put a wrap right up under it. I don't think I got them all, but I got most all of them. So that's going to keep my tail on top. That's kind of where I want it. So let's just lift all these up and then put a few wraps right here to really kind of lock it in. Maybe one more over the top. Okay, I think we're going to be fine right there. Now, here's what you can do. If you want to help build up some bulk right here, you can just use some thread wraps. And a lot of people will just make their body out of thread. But this is a 70 denier thread, so it would take me forever to really build that up. So I'm just going to use some floss right here. And this is a uni, and it's, you know, the orange color of the thread I'm using right here. So let's pull that in, pull it back a little bit. Okay, this should be fine right here. And what you can do with this body, you can wrap it up and then halfway down and then back up again, just depending on how thick a body you want. Okay, I think that's bulbous enough. Let's go ahead and catch this off. Now we'll want to leave our thread a little bit back because we've got a lot going on up front. So I think maybe a third of the way back is going to work. Now just grab all of this deer hair, and I'm trying to keep it parallel on top of the hook. It'll just make it look slightly better. And I'm gonna put a loose wrap right there on top, and I haven't let go of this yet, and then I'll do another wrap, and I can pull this tighter and then kind of pull this up. That's helping keep all those hairs on top of the hook. So let's go ahead and lock that in. Couple wraps up forward, some more back here, and then maybe a few more up here. Now let's tighten our hackle, and depending on what color scheme you're going with, use any hackle you want. And since I'm doing an October caddis sort of with this one, I'm going to use a brown. So let's catch this in, couple wraps behind it, and then bend that stem forward and lock it in up front. Now we want to trim this top. This is our wing, and about as long as the hackle is going to be. Don't want to get too long. It might make the fly a little bit top heavy, but I could probably go on just a little bit longer than that, but I think we're going to be fine. I'm going to do 2 wraps behind it and then probably 3 or 4 in front of it. And we can use these front wraps to kind of prop this wing back up if we need to. So let's go ahead and catch this off right here. What I'll do next, I'll just pull all this back and try to create a little flat area where I can whip finish it. I don't want too many of these fibers going forward. I'm going to have a few to clean up, but we'll be fine. And I just snapped my thread right there, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and snip this and then take a look at it and see what we need to do for cleanup. Okay, got a tag in a thread and a few fibers right here, but nothing the scissors or a singe tool can't take care of. So there you go, drop a head cement and this thing's ready to fish. Now stick around a few minutes if you want to see me fishing in the kind of water I'd use this fly. Good morning. I'm on the Savage River, just upstream of the PhD pool. I parked right by the bridge there. I have been fishing some terrestrials. I started with that psycho ant we tied the other day, and I've got a couple of takes, one hookup. Didn't land him. He looked like an okay fish, not huge. I am using my 5-weight because I have been throwing some pretty chunky terrestrials and maybe some streamers later. But right now, I'm going to my go-to dry fly, tan CDC L Care Caddis. This water up here in front of me looks pretty good for dry fly water. It might be a little bit tricky. I won't be getting a whole lot of long casts. It might not be sexy fishing, but it's good looking water and I should be able to pull something out of here. So let's give it a shot. There we go, there's a decent one. All right, don't go downstream on me, buddy. Uh-oh, he's going downstream. Can I keep upstream of him? It's a nice fish. All right, just keep him tight. See if I can get down of him. Come on, buddy. All right, where'd he go? All right, he's going up though. I'm about to fall in. Keep it tight, he's in the slack water there. Ah! I can't see him. Oh, he's upstream, way upstream. Don't come down over these rocks. Ah, I missed him. Got him, there we go. All right, wet my hands. Let's pick this guy up and try and measure him real quick. I don't want to keep him out of the water too long, but my tattoo there is 13 inches. So this guy's almost 15 inches. Can you see that right there? Nice, pretty, good size looking Savage Brown. All right, get on back in there, buddy.